I don't think I'm going to invite any controversy when I say that the first Metal Gear Solid has a great story. Well, I don't know, I might be. This is the internet. Either way, a good story is of course going to have some healthy twists. Metal Gear Solid definitely has a couple, and for the most part these are really well done. But in my opinion, the biggest twist in the game is the one involving the PAL key. It's a twist that I think also brings up an important unanswered question in the game. Now, technically, I don't see a lot of people asking this question, but I'm gonna ask it, so let's get into it.
The key fell in the drainage ditch.
So let's get started right away with the twist. I mean, spoilers obviously, but basically Snake's mission is to find out if they can launch a nuke. Snake meets the DARPA chief who says they can launch a nuke alright if they have 2 codes to activate Metal Gear Rex. And you should be worried as hell because Psycho Mantis stole the codes from my mind. But the chief says don't worry, there's these magic cards that'll deactivate Rex, and then he says a lot of weird stuff about ransom demands, and then he dies. Snake is then right after, like as close to immediately after as possible, shown a vision of the DARPA chief being dead. He's on a torture rack and everyone was like, oh man, this sucks, we didn't get his code. And then Psycho Mantis says, hey, I got an idea, and then the vision ends. Snake is curious about this for like 10 seconds, and then takes Naomi's answer that it was psychometric interference at face value, and just completely drops it. Never at any point does he question or bring up to anyone else that he saw a dead DARPA chief who had not given them his code in a vision. He just keeps moving. Then Snake meets Baker, who is like, of course I gave him my code, you think I'm resisting torture? So Snake's like, alright, but what about these cards I've been hearing so much about? Baker tells him, yeah, that'll work, and then he proceeds to talk about nukes over about 22 minutes of stock footage, and then he also dies. So finally, Snake gets the key from Meryl after breaking the 4th wall, but it's only 1.
There should be 3 keys.
Meryl gets shot and Snake gets captured, and Ocelot is like, hey man, did you figure out that card key yet? And Snake's like, nah, I ain't got around to it. And Ocelot's like, oh, okay. And then he leaves the key in with Snake's stuff. Again, they know about this key. Why would they leave the key with him? At no point is Snake like, that's weird. Anyway, Snake finally makes it to the end of the game, and he finds out he has to use the same card 3 times to deactivate Rex. Which he does, but guess what? They were lying to Snake the entire time. He actually activated Rex, which is just what Liquid wanted him to do. It's literally the same twist as Ocarina of Time, right? Like Ganondorf does the same thing in Ocarina of Time. It's even 3 items. It's what a crazy thing that is both true and I'm just realizing. Anyway, for whatever reason, these emergency shutdown cards actually activate Rex too, which is a failsafe for what exactly?
Sorry, I forgot. Damn.
Like outside of this specific situation the terrorists are trying to create, why would the failsafe for deactivating and activating Rex be the exact same thing? Look, I'm sure it's a beautiful metaphor for choice or player agency or something, I don't know. And that's not even the question I'm trying to answer. What I want to know is, if Liquid Snake needed Solid Snake to activate Rex, why did Foxhound spend the entire game trying to kill him? Now look, I'm not an idiot, okay? I know it's a video game and it wouldn't be a very fun one if nothing challenged you on your way to the end and there were no boss fights or anything, okay? I get that. I know this isn't actually a huge plot hole or anything. I'm literally nitpicking, but it's fun to think about, at least to me. Anyway, I have 3 theories ranging from probably not the answer to this one might be the answer. So let's break those down. Theory number 1, they weren't actually trying to kill Snake. Yeah, they just wanted to make it look real enough that Snake would be none the wiser. Couple of issues with this from the jump. One of them is that they did actually give Snake a ton of clues that he never seemed to think twice about. Literally, Raven at the end of the game tells Snake, hey, by the way, that wasn't the DARPA chief, that was Decoy Octopus. And instead of being suspicious at all, Snake is just like, huh, weird. So I don't think he would have thought twice about not having boss fights. Also, do you think that Sniper Wolf and Vulcan Raven are the type to just die for Liquid Snake's dream, like on purpose? No way. Okay. But what if they were actually trying to kill Snake, but Liquid himself knew that they'd lose, so he wasn't worried? I mean, after all, Solid Snake is genetically the same as him, and there's no way that Liquid Snake didn't think he could beat everyone in Foxhound by himself. However, there is one pretty big flaw with that. Yeah, I don't think Liquid was exactly pulling any punches with that payload of missiles. Plus, he talks about how short-staffed they are in the torture sequence and how Mantis' cool song isn't brainwashing soldiers anymore. So Liquid definitely wasn't just like no worries as Snake murdered his way through Shadow Moses. Theory 2. The PAL key wasn't their main plan. In this theory, Snake and the PAL key are just one of a few irons in Liquid's fire, so to speak. Yeah, sure, they wanted Snake to activate Rex if he gets there, but I mean, if he dies, you know? Oh, do I not have that clip? Well, okay, here's a picture of Ivan Drago, I guess. Oh, no, that's a picture of Dolph Lundgren in A View to a Kill. Okay, well, if he dies, he dies. You know, you get the reference. This would mean that Liquid either had confidence that they could figure out the PAL card themselves, or they figured the threat of a nuke was enough. I mean, he didn't know there was an incoming airstrike. No one did, except for known dick Jim Hausman. So, I think this one there is some truth to. I mean, Ocelot of course didn't want Liquid's plan to happen, so it's also possible he was in Liquid's ear like, don't worry, we'll figure something out. I do think that Snake was the main plan though, hence Liquid busting out his character work as Master Miller. But I do think this theory has a lot of weight, especially combined with my final theory. Which, before we jump into that, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. It really helps me out and I really appreciate it. With that awkward piece of business out of the way, let's dive into the final theory. Theory number 3, Liquid wanted to beat Snake more than he wanted his plan to work. So, Liquid's got some hang-ups. It's mostly around his heritage, it's daddy issues. They're daddy issues. And to Liquid, the greatest indignity in his life is being viewed as inferior to Solid Snake. By anyone, but especially their father, Big Boss. Keep in mind, this is an entirely one-sided thing. Snake didn't even know Liquid Snake existed before Shadow Moses, and he didn't know he was a clone until like the very end of the game. I personally think that those issues and that insecurity cropped up so much when he confronts Snake with the Hind that he sort of just goes off the rails. He decides that killing Snake and proving himself the true heir of Big Boss is more important than anything else. Therefore, he actively tries to kill you with the Hind. Not only do I think this theory is the best of the 3, but it actually allows parts of the other 2 to also be true if you wanted to. That's just my little headcanon for why Snake is both crucial to their plan, but also actively being fought throughout the game. And again, I know this isn't exactly a question everyone was asking, but I had a little fun thinking about it today. So what do you think about these theories? Do you have your own? Is there something else in Metal Gear you wonder about but no one else seems to? Let's talk about it below. If you've watched this far, thank you so much, and be sure to like and subscribe. I have more videos like this in the pipeline that I cannot wait to share with you. Thanks again for watching, and thank you for being a part of this community.